What is going on, guys? I am a little bit more than usual. I'm like 4 Fireball sweet teas in, so I'm feeling all right. I'm good. I haven't drank like all week, so I've been doing good on that. But tonight I was like, you know what? I haven't drank all week, so I'm just like totally not. Yeah, I'm in pretty bad shape as far as talking and coherent thoughts and all that stuff. But it's gonna be fun. We'll have a good time no matter what. You know, we always do. So you guys know that I have 2 rigs that are it's 16 GPUs total, that they are shared. In other words, like there were multiple people that put in money to build these rigs, and those 2 rigs normally, up until now, have been on CCX, Conceal.network, for the better part of, well, actually for more than a year. So I think we started last March, and we've been on CCX the whole entire year. So every month, you know, we do this breakdown to figure out how we did the previous month. And obviously with spec mining, it wasn't great, right? There was a really good time last year, like around July, where CCX went to like 80 something cents. That was great. Okay, it was like this really brief, like awesome time, right? Hasn't been so great after that. So it's gone all the way down. I think they're at, I don't even know what they're at today, but yeah, they're down around 10 cents, I think, somewhere around there. So pretty big decrease. But I did mention on the last month's breakdown, last month in May, if I can get my months right, I think that's right. So in May, I did say, hey, I think I'm going to change things up a little bit and maybe not do CCX this whole month, and I didn't. We decided to go with don't hate me, guys. Don't hate me. Don't hate on me. I don't want to see the comments. But we transitioned over to NiceHash. Okay, so we've been mining Nice on NiceHash OS, the OS. So we booted up into NiceHash OS on both the rigs for the whole month. So I did it kind of as a test because I wanted to kind of see how it worked out. And I think I'm going to be kind of impressed. The only problem is that I also added in on that same console, so the same login, I had my own rig, Kessel, the 6 GPU NVIDIA rig. So I don't know how this is going to work as far as figuring out the math. I have not done any homework on this at all, but just keep in mind that we've got 2 rigs out of the 3 that are owned by multiple people, and then you've got the 1 rig that is owned by just me. So I don't know how this is going to work out mathematically, but we're going to take a look at it and see what is up. Yes, Red Panda, I wanted to check it out. I wanted to try it because, you know, the whole profit switching stuff, it's a little bit intriguing, especially whenever obviously you could probably make more profit if you were to mine the coins outright. I get that. I totally get that. But for simplicity and ease, it just seemed like the right thing to do, at least for a month. So I wanted to see how it worked. You know, I wanted to see, okay, I gotta say, the interface is slick, man. I mean, it is really easy, and the app is awesome. Anyway, let's get into it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a NiceHash fan, you know, obviously with the hack back in 2018 or 17 or whatever it was. You know, I have some problems, but their OS is pretty solid. I do have one complaint, is that I realize that they have to do it, but the benchmarking of a rig takes forever. Like, it takes really a long time, almost to the point to where you're like, man, is this thing even gonna work? And I've had one of the rigs that kind of, it was a little finicky, with actually getting up and running on mining. I think it was my fault. It's the Dagobah rig, which is always kind of finicky anyway. You know, I've done several streams about how this thing doesn't fire up with all the rigs or all the GPUs at once, right? So it's an 8 GPU rig, and depending on, you know, you have to keep turning it on and off to get all the GPUs to show up. So I don't think it's really a nice hash problem. I think it's more of just the rig, and I probably need to turn off the integrated graphics card. I think that will probably fix a lot of those problems, but I haven't done that yet. But I'll show you the difference, because I turned off the integrated graphics card on one rig on Mustafar, and I didn't on the other one. So I'll show you what the symptom is of that also. So all right, you guys are probably just beating me up over here in the chat, but that's okay. You know, we only did it for a month, guys, so come on, don't kill me. Only 1 month. So I wanted to check this out. I wanted to see how it worked out. All right, let's see here. If I can get to where I need to be. Rigs. Okay, so this is the NiceHash OS interface. I think it's pretty slick, and I gotta say, you know, straight up, there is, I mean, for other operating systems to compete, they're gonna really have to step their game up, because this is, it is really slick. It's really nice interface. I don't have any problems with the interface at all. So, although obviously NiceHash is like one of those easier things, right? There's very little configuration that you can do. It's just kind of like there. You either boot the rig up and you let it do its benchmarking and then let it mine, right? So that's kind of where we're at. Am I cussing? I don't think I cussed. All right, sorry. If I cuss, I apologize if I cuss. All right, so this is what I'm looking at. I got 3 rigs on this, 22 GPUs. Basically all of my GPUs that I currently have are on NiceHash, and you might be looking at this at first and you're probably seeing like, okay, you know, current profitability is at 1168. It's hardly ever that high, and this varies drastically over time. Okay, so it's not, it might be $2 like the first time you look at it, and then it'll jump up to 11. And the reason for that is, oh shoot, I forgot to turn the music down. My bad. Whoop. There we go. It's way down now. Sorry about that. So the reason is that, thanks for reminding me. Totally messed that up. Totally messed that up. Normally I like slightly decrease it, but like I said, I'm 4 fire cheese in, so give me a break. All right. Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks for pointing that out. So, well, man, I totally spaced. What was I saying? What was I saying? Something about NiceHash, and they'll have to step their game up. Other operating systems will have to step their game up. I forgot where I was at. See, I look over there at the chat, and then I just lose it. I just totally lose it. Oh, the variation. So the way that it works is, you know, a lot of folks will say that, you know, like what to mine. Okay, so NiceHash is oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes at the top of what to mine. And the reason is because people purchase that hash power from NiceHash, and that pushes the price up. So for example, whenever Ravencoin went to Kawpow, Kawpow was on NiceHash pretty quickly. It got over there and the prices went through the roof, right? As far as like people buying that hash power. So the way it works is you can buy hash power and then point it at a pool, a coin of your choice, and it costs a premium, right? So that's why oftentimes you'll see NiceHash at the top of what to mine. It's not that there's something weird going on. It's just the facts of how much hash power you get for the and how much you can earn from the hash power that you buy. So it's kind of a weird thing here, because if you're a person that doesn't have any rigs, you don't have GPUs, you don't have anything to mine with, but you want to mine. So you would go to NiceHash to actually buy that hash power and point it at whatever you wanted. So, and you hear stories of this happening when like there's a fork of a coin or a coin or a new coin, right? That is using an existing algorithm that is on NiceHash. You could actually purchase enough hash power to just crush that coin, right? And there have been people in the past that have talked about doing it. I don't know if they've ever done it, but they definitely talked about doing it. So it is it's one of those things. So I know that, you know, I was looking at NiceHash OS and I was like, hey, this looks kind of cool. I don't know. I like the interface. I think it's slick, but the problem is that I cannot find a way to separate out these two groups. Okay, so back to let me pull this back to what this is actually about, because we have to talk about the group that have invested in these couple of rigs that we have, and we've been mining, you know, for more than a couple of years now. So on those rigs, we were mining CCX for the past year. Now for this past month, we mined on NiceHash, but I messed up. It's my fault. I probably should have separated this out some way, but I actually have my own personal rig on this NiceHash as well. You can see it right here. You know, you got SavageMine down here, and then Blockring is the group. So the two rigs, Dagobah and Mustafar, are on Blockring, and then SavageMine just has the one rig. Okay, so that's the deal, right? Now, the problem is that it doesn't appear as though there's any way of separating this out to where I know for a fact of what this group earned compared to this group. So it's definitely not designed, which is not their fault, but it's definitely not designed for my situation. Okay, so I just can't see a way. I've gone through all the different options in here. Maybe I'm just missing it, but it doesn't seem like there's a way that I can find out what this group did compared to this group. It just doesn't seem like it's in here. Maybe I'm just missing it, but so this is going to be kind of tough. Anyway, we're going to kind of calculate this out and try to figure it out. So that's what this is actually going to be about. Yeah, I like their GUI. I think it's great. You know, setting it up is very similar to all the other OSs. You know, Simple Mining and Hive OS. It's very similar. It's a little bit different of a configuration file that you have to put information into, and it's much more involved if you want it to be. But there's only a couple items in there that you have to actually modify in order to get it to show up on your console, right? So it's actually pretty cool. I don't have much of a problem with it. The only complaint is that benchmarking, man. It just takes so long, and it had me worried because, you know, it was taking so long. But once it's done, I think that it stores that information, so it knows kind of what's going on. The next time you boot the rig up, it doesn't have to redo a benchmarking again. You know, I don't know. It seems it's pretty slick. I'm telling you, those operating systems, the mining operating systems that are competing with NiceHash need to step their game up as far as their interface goes, because it's really slick. And I mean, I showed you what it looks like. It's actually pretty cool. You know, you got the rigs. I haven't been in here a lot, so I don't know you know, how to actually walk through it and show you like exactly what's going on, but you can kind of see that it's very professional, very well done. It's organized, all that stuff. You know, I've got it looks like I've got two. Now this is in a month. Okay, so I'm showing you a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't, but this is in a month. And this is in BTC. So the cool thing about NiceHash is, you know, you point your hash power at their pool, or at NiceHash. You boot it up into NiceHash, and your earnings are always in BTC, always in Bitcoin, which is kind of cool. So what you're seeing here is actually in Bitcoin, right? So this is a USD value of Bitcoin. I think you can change the, you know, whether or not it's euros or whatever. I think you can change that in here, but this is basically what we've earned in a month. So in a month we've earned 245. Now that's before power. Okay, so that's where we have to kind of get into. We have to get into what, you know, what earned what, and we're going to get into the power and all that stuff. So let's. I know I'm kind of rambling, and it's my fault because I've had a couple of fire teas here, 4 fire teas. So I need to get on track here because I know DCA is coming up in 14 minutes. I'm just kind of rambling, but yeah, it's super cool interface. I like it. Anyway, all right, so let's try to figure this out real quick and see if we can figure out what we owe, you know, for electric and all that stuff for these 2 shared rigs. So if we go in here, you know, obviously you can see that we were using conceal.network before. There is some not reimbursed. I've got a lot of cells hidden here, so I can show you that. So here's some that are reimbursed for the electric, okay? So there's some that aren't because during those months we were mining at a loss, okay? So, which sucks, but it happens, you know, especially whenever you're spec mining on a coin like conceal.network. You know, great things are happening. I think that they're going to do well. It's just that you have to really go through these really horrible months in order to get to some, you know, to some level of profitability. So right now I'm going to just hide these. Let's see here. Let me hide all these so we can just get them out of the way. Just know that there is some right here. This number is the number of CCX that is due for power, you know, electricity reimbursement. Okay, so that's probably going to come into play because, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do this because we're going to be dealing in BTC now. So let me hide these just to get them out of the way, and then we'll just go from there. This is probably not going to apply anymore, right? Because we'll have to do some calculations to figure out how much BTC is 6,612 CCX, right? So we might have to do that calculation. All right, so let's look at this. I'm just going to put for coin mined. Again, I have not prepared for this at all. I'm just doing this like real time, okay? So I'm going to say nice hash. I'm going to say nice hash for the ticker because it really, I mean, technically I guess it's BTC. I guess we could put that in there. Amount mined in 30 days for Dagobah. Okay. So this is going to be tough because there's not, I don't think that there's a way of separating it out. I think it's done by group. Yeah, I don't think that there's a way. Yeah, I don't think there's a way of doing this by. And it only goes a week for the stats, so that's not going to be any good. Yeah, this is going to be rough. Okay. So I don't think that we're going to be able to do it that way. I don't think that there's any way of calculating it out. But what we can do is say, okay, we've got 245 for the month total. 245.79. All right. So we know that that is the BTC value right now. 245.79. All right. And yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do this a totally different way because, you know, this rig, Mustafar gets a little bit better hash rate, although on nice hash, I don't know. You know, on CCX it was. On CCX it would get a little bit better than Dagobah. So, you know, that's why I had the 2 wallets like I had before. I don't know. I think that maybe it's not fair to do a direct like 1/3. Okay, so the Kessel rig is an NVIDIA rig, which seems to be a little bit better earnings-wise than the whole group. Okay, because you can kind of see that here. All right, so this group, SavageMine group, gets right now the current group profitability is 521, and the current group profitability for 2 rigs, okay, you see this here, right, is 588. So it seems like it, you know, the NVIDIA, this is an NVIDIA rig, these are AMD rigs. So I'm thinking that it's like, you know, again, I don't know how I can calculate this and be totally fair with it, because it's like there's stuff up in the air. Okay, so we're taking this as, I mean, that's almost half, right? So for the one rig, for the 1.6 GPU rig. So but I don't really know that that's completely fair, because this is just a snapshot, right? So we're just looking at this like right this second. And it changes because it does profit switching. It figures out, you know, what's most profitable at the time, and it'll switch over to that. Like you can see that here, it went all the way down to 40 cents, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know how to do this in a fair way. But I'm definitely going to have to change something in order to separate this out and make it make sense. All right, so let's look at some power. All right, so I'm gonna put in another line here. For the Kessel rig, because it's online, it's part of this, right? So I want to see if we can kind of figure this out. So what I would do here is probably just, for the time being, I'm just going to split the 245 3 ways, I guess. It would probably be the fairest way, because the Kessel rig seems to do a little bit better than the other ones. I mean, I have monitored it, I have seen it and watched it, and it seems like this one, NVIDIA, just seems to do a little bit better. I don't know, man. I don't know. So if we go C33 divided by 3, so that's 81 each. I don't know if that's fair or not. 82 each, almost. I think for this month, until I can figure this out, and again, we're probably going to go back to just CCX to make it a little bit easier. I think we'll just do it like this, because there have been some costs associated with these 2 rigs that I haven't really, like, you know, put into the, I haven't added to the equation of costs. So like I had to buy fans and replace the fans on one of the GPUs in Dagobah. I haven't added that in here in any way. So, you know, there's a little bit of give here. There's a little bit of wiggle room. So I think we'll be okay here. So we'll say, yeah, this kind of makes sense. All right. So my cost for electric is 0.103. That is true. And so we need to look at what was the electric cost for, we'll just start with Dagobah, okay? I'll bring that up in just a second. Give me a second here. All right, so for Dagobah, it was, for the month, you can see right here, total consumption, 764 kilowatt hours for the month. You can see what the current is right there. So we'll go 764 on the spreadsheet here. All right, so we were actually up about $2 on the month because the power costed $78.69, and we earned $81.83 if we split it out perfectly, you know, 3 ways, right? So that kind of makes sense. So there's not a coin or anything like that. Let's see, how can we do this? So yeah, this is not going to work. I would have to, actually, let me see. If we were to split, because I think there's a way of figuring out, let me think about this. Because there was I did see in here where it was showing me how much it had earned. But it was, I think it was based on group. So if you go to history and stats, I mean, here it breaks it out, but this is only for like right now. Okay, so like if they had a history of this, then you probably could figure out fairly precisely what each rig earned. But I don't see a way of getting that information like downloaded or anything. So yeah, I think there was somewhere in here. I think it was this right here. Yeah, I downloaded that earlier. I don't know if I can separate it out. I'll have to do a little bit more research on this and find out if there's a way of doing that. All right, let's go back to this spreadsheet here and see. Yeah, I think, all right, so let's go to the other rig, which is Mustafar. And that one is 679 kilowatt hours. So we're going to plug that into the spreadsheet here. And that rig cost us $70 a month, roughly. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that we're actually up, because for so many months we were down. So this is actually a good thing. But again, this spreadsheet is kind of designed around CCX and mining a specific coin and not mining NiceHash. So I'm going to have to figure this out. But it does look like we did okay. It looks like we made, what is this, $12, something like that for the month. So that's not terrible, right? It's a little bit better than the previous months. Although, you know, like I said, I think that CCX is going to do well, so we'll see how that works out. But after tonight, after the stream is over, I'm probably going to switch this back to CCX, and that way it's easier. It's much easier to manage. Although I do like this interface, I do like it. I can't lie. You know, it's nice. The app is super cool. If you look at the NiceHash app. Wrong camera. So if you come over here, let's see here. Let me go to it. See if I can find it. So you got that. I mean, it's a super nice app. You know, if you want to see what your earnings are, whatever. You know, you can control the rigs a little bit from here. Obviously, well, not obviously, but pretty much the only thing you can do is turn, like you can stop mining or pause mining. You can, I don't think you can even shut the rigs down from the app or anything like that, or from the interface. So in those instances, you would have to have a smart plug, right? So like you would have to have the smart plug that I use is this one here, and seems to work pretty well. And that's what you saw the app, you know, the app that I was just showing you. This is what it's about, or where it's from, is this smart plug here. Works pretty well. And I think that, you know, once I go to 220, you know, like you guys are probably aware of the mining closet that I'm trying to set up and everything, these are probably going to go away, and it's going to suck because I'm going to have to try to calculate it out a different way. I do have the APC PDU that I bought, that I did a video on, like the unwrapping or the unboxing of it, which was hilarious because it was like wrapped in this cellophane stuff and it was a real pain to get off. But that video or that PDU actually has some remote management capabilities. Like you can see it on the network, but it really only does like the current load, right? It doesn't do like a history like a smart plug. Like you can't figure out how much power has been consumed by a device on it. So I think you have to have like the extra software to actually monitor that on the network, and it's like $3 grand or something like that for this software, and I'm not going to do that. So if I do transition everything over to 220 in the mining closet, or whatever I decide to call it, you know, this capability is probably going to go away, which is going to suck because I need to know how much power each rig actually consumes. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll stick with 110, or 115. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air on it right now, actually. I don't know how I'm going to do it. We will see. No, I can't, Nefarious. Whenever I fire up Casa on the BlueStacks, it doesn't have data. It doesn't have any of the data. Alex Morales, the only advantage is it's not a monetary advantage really. Maybe a little bit with efficiency, but for the most part, it's about density, right? So you can have more rigs on one outlet instead of, you know, spread out across your house because you got a bunch of 120 outlets, right? So that's really what it's about. It's slightly more efficient. Your power supplies will run more efficiently, but the main purpose of it is density, because on 130 amp 220 I can run all 5 rigs, right? So, and not have a problem. You see this with Red Panda. He's got the same situation. I don't know if he's added any in there, but I think he's got 6, either 5 or 6 rigs running on one 220 outlet, right? So that's awesome. So it's more about density. It is slightly more efficient though, but not it's probably not totally noticeable, right? So maybe me and Red Panda can get together and do an actual test on that to see what is best. Yeah, it's really tough because it depends on, I mean, there's so many factors, right? So there's what you're mining, what GPUs you're using, what power supplies you're using. Yeah, I mean, it gets complicated to actually find out if it's actually more efficient. I mean, we know that it's slightly more efficient, but as far as, it's really more about density than, it's about putting 5 rigs or 6 rigs on one outlet instead of, you know, via a PDU, instead of each rig having their own outlet. That's really what it's about. All right, and then I did want to bring up, I forgot about this earlier on. Last night we were dual mining Ethereum Classic and Zilliqa, and this is what I came up with. I'm still doing it. I still have the rigs on that. You can see them right here, are not rigs, the rig. It's only 2 GPUs, which is funny. But you can see over here that even with just 2 GPUs, I mean, $1.10 a day, $7 a week is not bad, right? And this is the amount of Zilliqa and ETC that you would earn, you know, in those time frames. So it's really not bad with a couple of GPUs. Now this is before power costs, of course, and it's consuming. That rig is consuming about 200 and let's find out here. I think it's like 260. So that was a Scarif rig. Okay, so it's saying 316 right now, but you know, it's not bad. So check out that video if you want to see what we did here. We're basically merge mining ETC and ZIL. So with 2 GPUs, $32 a month is not bad with 2 GPUs, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what the power cost is going to be, but it can't be that much with 2 GPUs at 313 watts. I don't know. I'd have to, you know, you'd have to plug that into the calculators and stuff to figure it out. But all right, so I'm like way over. I think that we probably should switch over to DCA because they're live, I believe, right? Let's find out. Yeah, they're live right now. So let's head over there to Red Panda. Stop. You don't need to buy more rigs. You have plenty, dude. Relax. I can't buy more because of my electric costs. You're in a different situation. If I had your electric costs, you're probably right. I probably would be buying rigs. There's no doubt. All right, so let's head over to DCA Adventure, see what they're talking about, and we're probably going to play some poker after they're over. I would imagine that we're going to play. Hit me up in the Discord, in my Discord, and we will find out, or that we'll work out the details with getting you into the game if you want to play. But the way that we've been doing it until now has just been like finding each other on PokerStars to figure it out. So I don't know, we'll have to kind of like communicate to figure that out. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button and all that junk. Share the video if you thought that this was entertaining. Or Savage board, what is that? I don't know. But yeah, if you thought that this was helpful or informative or whatever, I mean, I didn't really do like the distribution. Like normally we would do the distribution of what we mined, but that was whenever we were using CCX. So I got to figure this out. It looks like we're like either right at even or a little bit in profit, which is cool. So I got to figure it all out, but we just really don't have time on the stream, I guess. So I'll see you guys. Oh, poker board. Okay. Yeah, hit me up in Discord if you want to play. We'll try to find each other on the table on PokerStars. It's free money. It's not gambling or anything like that. So yeah, check it out. I'll see you guys over there. I think I posted DCA. Yeah, so I posted DCA. Make sure you you know, do the Savage Raid thing over there, and I will see you guys. We're supposed to do the rig disassembly and I'm sorry, the rig frame. The Veta mining rig frame disassembly reassembly challenge on Sunday, but Sunday was Father's Day, so there's not going to be very many people around. So I think we're going to have to reschedule that for a different time. So, but I'll probably tweet about it. We'll talk about it on maybe Monday's live stream. So we'll talk more about that. It's probably not going to happen this weekend. I think that Red Panda has his community mining showcase tomorrow, and maybe we'll talk about it on there, or maybe he'll talk about it. I don't know, but we'll probably do it sometime next week if I was to guess. I can't do it the following Saturday. I could do it the following Sunday, which would be whatever day that, I don't even know what day that would be. 26th. I don't know. I can't do it in my head. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But me and Crypto Mining Lifer are going to compete and find out who can disassemble a Veta 6 GPU mining rig frame and reassemble it the fastest. And we got to work out the details as far as like what the rules are, right? So like, are we going to disassemble it and then that is going to be like the stop of the stopwatch for a moment, and then that way we can reassemble it and also time that, or is it all going to be together? We got to work out the details. We'll get into it. I will see you guys next time, probably Monday. Stay savage, everybody.